Hey there, happy Tuesday. Mr. Will here for the group Feed Me Pie and Divide and Conquer for May 19th, 2020. So today we're going to do a very similar problem as the problem that we did yesterday, when we are going to be using equivalent expressions with percents. So the problem that we have today is the number of blood donors at the annual drive increased this year by 20%. That's good news. If there were D donors last year, so we don't know how many donors we had last year, so we're going to use this variable D. Write two different expressions for the number of donors this year. Now, yesterday, if you remember the strategy that we used something called a bar model. And I would like to use that again today. So that just kind of allows us to really kind of think about the problem before solving it. Okay, so if this was the bar, what I would do is I would say that this big section would be 100%. So this was last year. Okay, so I had 100% participation. And then this piece right here was the increase of 20%. Okay, because there was 100% last year, that would be all of this, and then it increased by 20 more. So we don't know how many people gave blood last year, but what we would do is we would mark this as D because it's an unknown. We would use a variable to show that. But what we do know is that it increased by 20%. So what we could do is to show the increase, we could multiply 20 times how many people came last year, and that would be one way to show the increase. So I would have my decimal of 20% would be, I probably should do 0.20 or 20 hundredths times D. And what that would do is that gives us our 20% increase. We take what we had, we multiply it by 20, that would give me my 20% increase. But wait, because that's going to give me 20% more of last year's, we also need to add last year's as well. Okay, does that make sense? So we had 20% more than last year. That's this. But then we also need to include last year's. So that would be here. So it would be 20 hundredths times D plus D. Now, another way that we could do this is we could combine 100 and 20. And rather than adding D later, we could put 100% and 20% together and write it as a decimal. 120% as a decimal would be written as 100 or 1 and 20 hundredths. And what we would do here is we could do 1 and 120ths times D, and that would give us not only our 20%, but give us 120%. So our 100% from last year, our 20% increase, put it together, multiply it by our number of donors, bada bing, bada boom. That would be a second way that we could write this expression. So what I would like you to do today is I would like you to work on writing equivalent expressions using percents. Work hard, ask questions. Remember, I'm here to help you. So log on to office hours, use that time every day from 9 to 10, or you can email me throughout the day with any questions you have. Work hard. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks.